What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for joining us. This is Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, joined as always by my co-host Andrew. Don't get it twisted, Lapachet, and this is the Mad Boxing Show, or Mad Boxing for short. Thank you so much for stopping by on this lovely Sunday evening. 24 hours removed from the 250th anniversary, or 250th birthday, I should say, of the United States of America. Hope everybody had a nice, safe Fourth of July last night, and you guys enjoyed as much of it as possible. It doesn't always land on a Saturday, so it's kind of cool that it landed on a Saturday. I happen to get a 3-day weekend, which is awesome. That doesn't happen too often. Definitely enjoyed my 4th of July, and I hope you guys did too, safely, of course. And you guys have all your fingers intact. No crazy shit happened. On my side of town, there was a damn palm tree that caught fire. On the east side of town, there was a damn house on fire. Shit was bananas, yo. Straight fucking bananas. But I hope you guys had a safe 4th of July, and we're all nice and post hangover from last night. We got plenty to talk about because we got a few fireworks last night, not just for the 4th of July, but DAZN's TNT card, first official TNT card. Top Rank basically took over. Abdullah Mason in the main event with Bruce Shushu Carrington in the co-main event. We're going to be talking about those fights and what we thought overall of that card, because man, it was a unique one. We had our DAZN commentators with Grisham, Mora, and Mannix, and then we kind of had sort of PBC with Porter, and then we had Bradley. It was kind of Top Rank, but ESPN back in the day, right? So it was quite a mixture. It was a little strange, and then to top it all off, we had Jimmy Lennon Jr. in the fucking ring. Holy hell, it was quite the mishmash, a hodgepodge, whatever, insert your proper phrase here. So we're going to talk about that, and whether or not this first show on TNT was a hit or not, was it fireworks or not, I guess. So we're going to down on that. And on that topic, one of the other topics we're going to be talking about, which kind of was slightly controversial. I mean, I guess it really didn't kick in much. It wasn't like it was that impactful, but the open scoring on the co-main event with Bruce Carrington putting his WBC featherweight championship on the line. That the open scoring, we're going to throw in our 2 cents on that, because I'm not sure what side of the fence I land on that. I mean, I think I do, but you're going to hear both of our opinions, myself and Andrew's, on what exactly, how we think that should go, and whether or not that's going to be beneficial for the sport overall. Very, very unique. I got to say that. Alexander Usyk, as we talked about in a few shows ago, talking about his future potential opponent, went ahead and relinquished all his championships. 2 of his possible opponents being Deontay Wilder and, oddly, John Jones, but it's looking more like it might be Wilder, and the promoter of this fight and the promotion, I guess, might surprise you. At least that's what they're saying online. Who will be in control of this one? We have our doubts, and in particular, Andrew would like to throw in his 2 cents on what he thinks this promoter. We're going to be talking about that. Terence Crawford, kind of, sort of, slight clapback at Conor McGregor, talking about the offer that was made, the 2-fight deal, one in the boxing ring and one in the octagon. Saying, we had a conversation, but none of that shit was happening. So motherfucker's lying out of his ass. So we're going to talk about that, and whether or not that means anything. And maybe we might hear something back from Conor McGregor, who will be in action later this week, or this Saturday, next week. It's going to be Conor McGregor and Max Holloway, the rematch. So maybe he's got a lot of other things in mind, and not necessarily Terence Crawford right now, but we're going to be talking about that. Fabio, I wasn't calling Fabiano. Fabio Wardley might exercise his rematch clause. Okay, against Dubois. I'm not sure that's such a great idea after that ass whooping, but clearly he's certain that he's going to take the rematch. So kind of strange. We're going to be discussing that. And lastly, kind of sort of breaking news. It looks like David Benavidez is having some trouble, some marital issues with his, I guess, girlfriend, because they're not married yet, the mother of his children, with a very odd social media post by his wife calling off their wedding. We're going to be reading it in its entirety on this social media post to figure out what the hell could potentially be going on. Of course, we don't know, but what happens when we read stuff like this. Yeah, that's what social media is, guys. When we see it, we're gonna make our judgments. We're gonna come to our own conclusions on what could be potentially going on. We don't know the behind the scenes stuff, but if they're gonna post it on social media, we're gonna be talking about it. It's just how it is that we're gonna post your stuff on there. So we're going to be talking about that, of course. However, before we get to the actual topics of our show, as always, a quick word from our video sponsor or channel sponsor, Health y Sol or Health Y Sol, tallow-based products and tallow-based soap in particular. Make sure to check them out. If you happen to find anything you might want to try, make sure to use the code MADBoxing10 at checkout and get 10% off of your purchase, or follow the affiliate link that's going to be in the description of this video and get the same 10% off. Make sure, in particular, as always, my favorite lavender patchouli is my favorite scent. So give them a try. It's a relatively inexpensive way to support the channel, and we always appreciate it. So make sure to check them out, Health y Sol or Health Y Sol. Let us know what you guys think, of course. And as always, like, subscribe, share, comment. We'd like to hear from you guys. We always do. So we always appreciate that from you guys, honesty as always. So that being said, we're going to get the show crack-a-lacking with the main event of last night's TNT card, main evented by Abdullah Mason, who was supposed to take on Joe Cordina. Unfortunately, Cordina wasn't able to make it. Visa issues or some other BS. Point is, he wasn't able to get to the fight, and they inserted the undefeated, or at least previously undefeated, Albert Bell. If you guys caught the action, the stoppage was a little strange. Abdullah Mason came away with the victory. He is the current WBO lightweight champion and the current, I believe, the youngest active champion in boxing right now at 22 years of age. And this was his first title defense, defending his WBO belt. And he passed the test. Now, I don't know if I'd say with flying colors, but the scorecard was a little strange. If you guys followed or watched the fight and followed Chris Mannix's scorecard towards the end, I believe the 12th round, right? It looked as though Mason needed either a knockdown or a knockout to win the fight. Otherwise, it probably would have been a draw with just winning that last round. And he ends up getting the stoppage in weird fashion. He does drop Albert Bell in the opening seconds of that last round. And that one looked legit. It looked like Bell, his nose was fucking flat. So he was getting hammered, especially the second half of that fight. And held on for as much as he could. And then in that 12th round, gets dropped early and then falls the second time. He did get punched, but it looked like the I guess him falling, the knockdown, was really more so Mason kind of pushing him down, kind of, chucking him down, I guess, like an old school wrestling move, pulling down on the head. And without even a count, the referee calls a halt to the action and stops the fight. Very pissed off. You can tell Albert Bell gets pissed off. He goes over to congratulate Abdullah Mason's corner and including himself. But man, what a strange ending. Not even a count the second time around. I'm not sure if I agree with that. At least let the man, finish on his feet. He gets an opportunity to be the main event on short notice. I think they said 10 days or something like that. But he came ready. He showed a different style. I mean, it was something that Mason hadn't really dealt with before, and you can tell because it was giving him some problems. But ultimately, he came away with the decision, with that, with a win, I should say, with a KO in the last round. Andrew, let me go ahead and bring you in here, man. First and foremost, happy 4th of July, of course, as always. What did you think, number one, of Abdullah Mason's performance, and then, of course, that weird ending at the end with the ref stoppage?
Well, I'm a little surprised you're being so hard on Abdullah, Miguel. I thought it was an excellent fight. It's an exciting fight. He fought an undefeated guy on short notice who's 6 foot.
Yeah.
Totally. He had to try to get on the inside. He's walking through right hands trying to get there. Exchanging punches, walking the man down, did everything he was supposed to. The 2 knockdowns are 2 knockdowns at the end. Guy gets up, his nose is busted, like he's bleeding, he's hurt. What more do you want? You want him? Miguel said thumbs down, huh?
It was it was the 4th of July. I felt like an emperor. It was fireworks all over the place. I was just ready to thumb down, throw him to the Tigers, please.
Yeah, no, look, I had him pulling away. You want to say the fight was close early in the first 6 rounds? That's cool. I'm not giving him no 6-0, though. So when you see that he got maybe from round 7, 8, it's Abdullah Mason all the way through, you got to think, kid, you got to win some of these rounds. Nobody gave you what DAZN was giving you in the beginning of that fight. Let's believe that right now. Stop that. That was some BS. The fucking 6-0 or whatever they had it.
Oh yeah, Chris Mannix was giving it a full sweep for Bell at the very beginning. Yeah.
It was close because he was walking in a lot of punches. Even though young man kept his hands up, his approach was correct in everything he was doing. He was fighting a fucking excellent fighter, though. Bell was standing his ground. He was on the ropes. He was dropping that right hand, and he knew how to throw that. He knew how to set that punch up, that little lean back and then fire right back, using his height, basically, his distance. And he did great at doing it. He just couldn't hurt the kid. Abdullah Mason just kept coming. He just kept coming, kept breaking it down. The body shots, that jab to the body was a thing of beauty. Yeah, he was sticking them with that. So, no, I love the main event. I like the fight. I was a little upset with the time frame of the fight, dude. Because I'm sitting there watching this thing like, are you fucking serious right now? We're going to go into the dark. Like, I felt sorry for the East Coast, right? I mean, dude, this had to have hurt their ratings, bro. I don't expect TNT to have great ratings on this. How dare they get into 250? Like, Bob, who's doing the fucking planning here? This is America's 250. You really think people are going to sit around and watch this shit like, no, don't talk to me right now. Abdullah Mason's fighting. What did you say? Albert Bell? What's his Albert Bell? Oh, I got it right. Albert Bell. No, they weren't.
But dad, the fireworks. Like, shh. I gotta finish watching the Muslim. Isn't he Abdullah Mason right now? I gotta finish watching him on TV.
On 250. No,
yeah, exactly.
No, but and that was what kind of irked me the most about this thing is I thought that fight was going to end a lot earlier. Top Rank needs to do better if you're going to put a fight on 4th of July, especially when they were going to have the 250 again. So they kind of already blew that one. Yeah. But from here on out, let's not do 4th of July at 9 fucking p.m. for the thing to start. Come on, that was ridiculous, man. But no, overall, to me it was an excellent fight that Abdullah still showed vulnerability, but he showed the heart of a champion. He showed the power. He showed that he had the energy to go 12 hard rounds and still have it at the end. I liked everything about that side. And then he swept it. So you could really say he figured him out, right? Maybe it was tough in the beginning, but obviously even DAZN had either Bob calls them and says, you better fucking get your shit straight or one thing I noticed about last night, do any of these guys realize they're on the same team now?
Oh, I don't think they do. I mean, I don't think they do. I'm not sure if they realize that they're kind of, under the same umbrella now.
They're all under. You might want to start going for everybody, right? I don't know. To me, it was almost like DAZN was kind of like nitpicking everything Top Rank fighters did as if they were just commentating for the night. It was just a DAZN Top Rank kind of special night thing. No, bro, this is the company now. Yeah. might want to get your. I heard something now. Granted, I didn't really hear what they were saying, but the little remark that he said, "You guys sound like you don't go to college" or something like that. Did you hear that? Yeah, like a little.
Bradley was like, "Do you guys go to college, graduate college, or something like that?" And then I forgot if any of them did. I'm pretty sure I heard one of them did at least. But yes, he did kind of throw a little bit of shade there.
They really does sound like there was a lot, maybe too much of that going on. I don't know maybe they're all fighting for their jobs. They know Turkey isn't going to be keeping this all-star crew for every TNT night. So it might be the best of the best is going to hang around. Because, come on, that was an expensive commentating crew. Yeah, Porter, you've got Crawford, and then freaking who's the other pro boxer? They're all pro boxers really on that are going to cost
Porter. Wait, Porter, Bradley, and who else?
Bradley. There you go.
Oh, Bradley, Timothy Bradley. Yeah, Crawford. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, It's just it seems like it's a little star-studded for a regular TNT, telecast. This is on a, so we'll see how that goes, but that's what kind of turned me off about the night was it just seemed like they weren't on the same team, and they need to be on the same team here. Um the
Do
the
you think they
the
came in with a chip on their shoulder? Not that it's own people, but like Timothy Bradley came in and swinging, like he was just like defending ESPN or some shit, right? He's a top ranked
Yes.
dude, but he came in here like just swinging, and then to some degree even Crawford as well. Porter, he's a very like mellow dude, so I think he was trying to maybe be the peacemaker a little bit, but it seemed as though they came in like, oh, we'll show these DAZN guys, who the fuck they're fucking with, kind of thing. That's kind of it. Almost seemed like they had a bit of a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, no, I totally felt that way, and I don't know why it was. That's why I started thinking it was possibly because they're all not going to stick around. They're kind of gunning for each other's jobs right now. I couldn't see them needing that many commentators for these fights,
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see how this plays out. But excellent main event. I wasn't mad at the main event at all. And what might have put them on guard, this is what I was going to say, was the nitpicking of both fights. Because they nitpicked Shushu too. Granted, he had a little bit more hiccups in his fight than Abdullah did, but they seemed like the DAZN guys are kind of on his stuff too. So maybe Timothy Bradley and them felt a certain way going into that main event, which made them fire back.
Kind of defending their top rank guys, basically. Like we're gonna tell these fucking DAZN guys, these Matchroom or whatever. I mean, they're not really Matchroom, but they're DAZN. But like, kind of show them like, yo, our top rank guys are bad.
You have to think that DAZN is walking with the type of confidence right now that they shouldn't be. They're like the guys that won the war and no one knows how, right? Their matchmaking's terrible. Their head up against other promotional companies suck. Frank Warren has 5 zip on them. Top Rank has like 30-1. I mean, I know they just won the other day finally, but we've all seen the stats on these guys. Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, DAZN, however you want to say it, versus Mexican fighters. Terrible, right? And that Matchroom was trying to give that stable to DAZN. That was Eddie Hearn's probably dream, was that all of his guys would turn into household names under that platform. And what happens? They all get murked. You know what I'm saying? So they're probably walking around with a little bit of confidence they shouldn't be right now. And I think maybe that rubs the ESPN guys wrong, because obviously they are the stepchilds walking into this new platform, and they probably have the best fighters of every generational tier that there is. You know what I mean? Whenever there's a new group, it seems that it's Top Rank who's supplying us with the best. Yet they had to take a back seat to this company.
Yeah, no, that's very true. So Abdullah gets the victory. I'm not sure if I'm like, when I used to listen to the post-fight interviews in the ring and the fighters being asked like what they want next, yada yada. At first I was like, man, why would they ask them that? Like I didn't like the fact that they were trying to force a call out, but I've kind of come to like that now. Now I'm like, all right, cool, kind of promote your next fight, kind of sort of thing. I don't remember Abdullah saying jack shit about that. He talked about how great Albert Belk did and all of the stuff, right? They're coming in short notice, yada yada, and he like shot out this. What was it? Was it a barber shop or something? I forgot what the fuck it was that he, at the end of the, calling them out, like giving them a shout out, but. I would have liked to have heard, like, yeah, Shakur, get your ass back here, or the winner of Cepeda and Lamont Roach, something like that, right? Nothing like that. I mean, the guy's a humble kid, I get it, but I would have liked to have at least heard something. Promote your next fucking fight, dude.
Yeah, unfortunately for me, I believe it was 9. It was past 9:15, I think, when this fight was closing down, and I had to get outside. Right. Freaking it started getting too late. My mom was waiting out there with the dog, and we had to fire off some shit. So I didn't watch the interviews, nothing like that. I kind of just bailed. I forget what time it was, but I bailed as soon as the ref said. I was like, "Thank you, Jesus, you saved me some minutes." All right, who's ready to put some fights? Come on, Dad of the Year. Made you guys wait. Dad of the Year, baby. No,
I held my sister, my brother-in-law, my girlfriend hostage inside the house watching until the show was over. I didn't catch the post-fight interviews. I did in there. We did watch it afterwards, but I watched it afterwards.
Kids are all asleep.
Yeah. Falling asleep watching the fucking fights. It's like, hey, wake the fuck up. But Yeah, so I would have liked to have had more, a little bit more, at least promotion on that side. But defend his belt, I believe. Bradley said it. You win the belt, great, but you're not the champ until you defend it. I've heard that saying before elsewhere. So yes, got himself his first title defense, WBO, and upward and onward and see what goes next. He's in a stacked weight class, or at least the neighboring weight classes are pretty solid. So I anticipate at some point, I mean, Bob sees what Mason's got, so at some point he's going to have to put him up against another one of those champs, right? And unify. I'm sure that's where they're headed, but whether or not how that'll be his very next fight, I don't know. But a month from now, we have Cepeda and Lamont Roche going for the vacant WBC belt. So I don't see. I would love to see him. Again, he's another young American fighter coming up. Face one of those guys. That shit will be badass. I don't know how he would do with either one of them, but definitely very intriguing in the event he ends up fighting one of those guys. Or maybe they do the Cordina fight, down the line. I'm sure Eddie Hearn is going to stick up for his guy and be like, yo, I still want to give my Joe Cordina the fucking shot. But looking forward to seeing how Abdullah continues to progress. All right. Anything else you want to add to that one before we move on to the next one? It kind of sort of the Carrington one and the Abdullah, they kind of mesh because I want to give some final thoughts of the show afterwards. But
Yeah,
anything else on this one in particular? All right.
No, good.
So Bruce Shushu Carrington put his WBC featherweight championship, 126 pounds, on the line against Rene Palacios. The fight was, I mean, at least on the scorecards, was pretty one-sided until the very end, at least. You can tell that Palacios was not going to get hurt. He was getting hit. His face was getting marked up, but he kept coming and he kept coming, and he had that Mexican mentality, like, no, I'm gonna out fucking will you, dude. I got balls, motherfucker. I'm gonna keep going. And towards that second half, I don't forget, it was the 11th or the 12th, where he cracked Carrington downstairs, and it made him fold a little bit, like, oh shit, here it is. He was able to land on Carrington, not as much, of course, but I kind of wish he had gone to the body a little bit more frequently, a little bit earlier, because I mean, that's usually how it is, right? I mean, that's like, yo, these American fighters, they have pretty decent defense. They're able to get out of the way of punches or block them, go downstairs, and I want to say even Sergio Mora mentioned it, like, start landing to the biceps, landing to the shoulders, bro. Like, those are the ones you're able to catch them on. And to Carrington's credit, he was able to get away with, getting out of the way of those punches for the most part, until that last part where he kind of folded him in half. He too just got his belt, and this was his first title defense, defending that WBC belt. Ended up coming away with a unanimous decision, although it got a little icky there at the very end. Again, not the most exciting fight, and I'm going to talk about this one and Mason in a second here, but it seems as though it was pretty clear, right, that Carrington was going to win a decision towards the very end there. And although there were a lot more, bumps in the road here in this fight specifically, he still passed with flying colors. And when he was asked what's next, he immediately said, "Yeah, fuck yeah, let's start unifying these fucking belts." I'm not sure how he'll how he'll do against some of the other champions at 126. It's gonna be pretty hard there. But Andrew, what did you think of Bruce Carrington's decision victory? And man, can he get hit like that against any of the other one champions?
No, he can't. And did you bring up the knockdown that wasn't?
Oh, no. Yeah, I did it. My bad. Yeah. I believe it was the 7th or the 8th. I forget which round it is, but he's kind of up against the corner. Palacios has him against the corner, throws a body shot, and then like some hook. I forget which one is which, either the body shot and then the right hook, or the other way around. But yeah, I want to say it was like probably a right hook. So
right hook, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And Carrington tries to duck underneath it, right? And kind of gets clipped kind of like behind his ear, and that buckles his knees. And he's these southpaw versus orthodox, so his leg or his foot was inside of Palacios, and he kind of stumbled over him. And he kind of looked at the referee, like, what the fuck, and the referee called it, Harvey Dock was the ref, and he said, no, knockdown. He called it a slip. I think that was an error, right? Yep. But ultimately it was not called a knockdown, and the fight continued. Now, the punch, it wasn't deliberately behind the head or behind the ear or anything like that. It was just Palacios throwing the punch, and it was Carrington's own head, trying to move out of the way, getting clipped there. So that kind of was like, for my money, I'd be like, yo, no, that's a knockdown. That's a knockdown. He wouldn't have gone down otherwise. The feet kind of got a little tangled, so I don't know if that adds anything to it. But yeah, that did kind of cause a little bit of controversy because there are some people, I think Mora in particular, was calling it a knockdown, and everybody else seemed to disagree.
Hey, I'm a Shushu fan, and I thought that kid got totally robbed there. You know, you can't bend over. So why isn't everyone just bend over by the waist
Yeah.
if you hit, you know, if the back of the head means you can't get knocked down, and it's not that that shot is legal, but it's legal when you make it
Right.
that way, right? It was Shushu that put himself in harm's way, not the young man. He didn't do anything illegal there. That was totally a knockdown. Changes the fight. Might have gave the young man a little the confidence that he needed. I thought he just got outworked. He didn't throw enough combos. Obviously, he didn't throw enough body shots. But when he did, he actually looked good. You know, Shushu could not duck out of the 4-punch combos. He could do the 2-punch, he could do the counters, but when that guy actually let his hands go, he was touching Shushu, I think, more than a fighter that keeps his hands down should be getting touched. But, you know, that's what they're all doing nowadays. Everyone wants to have their hands down. So, decent fight for Carrington. He defended his title. He got the victory. Maybe it was him that shut the kid down, or maybe the kid just got a little overwhelmed from the situation that he was in. That will be time will tell on that one. But a victory is a victory, right? But I do think that he got a little bit of luck. He got a little lucky that young man was a little bit hesitant on fucking going full blast every round and just trying to bring it to him with combinations, sort of like a Madonna versus Floyd Mayweather kind of style. I thought when he started letting his hands go, that's what we were seeing. You know, he was throwing combinations like that, and he just didn't do enough of them.
Yeah, and
and then the body shot. You gotta go.
Yeah.
You when you hurt your guy, you gotta go for it all, man. You have to go for it all. I thought he really missed that moment too. Yeah, he didn't seem like a desperate fighter when he finally hurt him with the body shot.
Yeah, and it was obvious. It was pretty obvious, right? I mean, even Carrington to some degree almost fucking like gave him the head nod. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, that shit was clean. And he did throw, like, I think upstairs and then downstairs, and downstairs is where he ended up catching him in that combination. And he immediately, you know, folds over, back pedals, and then even grabs on, right, holds on in a clinch. And I thought at that point Palacio was like, I thought he would have gone more bold at that. That shit was really again his right back. So I don't know, like taller, you know, maybe one for start possibly giving up your belt, but I will fight one more. He decided. Oh, there gets stuck.
Yeah, it's pretty bad right now.
Oh,
it's like I don't know if it's recording, bro. That's why I just let you go, but I didn't hear shit you said the last 20 seconds.
Damn. Let me see where I'm at here. I think we're still recording, because at least on my end, it's still recording. On your end, I don't know how it goes, but I think we still got it. Basically, what I was saying is that he got hit too much. He called out, you know, the champs, and I would like to see him one more time fight another title defense before he starts unifying with some of the other champs.
Yeah, totally. I think both guys are still young. I mean, it sucks that these guys have belts.
And he's 28, mind you. So yes, he's young, but he's on that side.
I totally hear you on that one. Yeah, then there's not too much you can do with that at 28. But as far as, you know, being like, oh, they need to unify and they should be fighting, then it's like, damn, they just got their titles, you know. But yeah, I hear you at 28. He should be a little bit primed for the big run. You know, he should be getting ready for his run. But Abdullah, I see no reason to rush him, even though he is a champ. You know, I get it.
Yeah, and I was kind of this is kind of one of the topics I wanted to talk about is the ratings, right? Like it's gonna this was their first show on TNT, and both of these guys, even though the fights were still good, at least for our eyes, because we're a little more of a hardcore fan, for the casuals, not so much. And to echo what you often say, Andrew, and timing is everything. Both of these guys' previous fights. Abdullah Mason with Sam Noakes and Carrington with Carlos Castro. They were fucking exciting fights. I wish those were the fights that were on TNT. I know timing is not on their side here because it came afterwards, but what how much more of a badass card that or at least a delivering as far as the fight card goes, how badass of a delivery that would have been if we would have gotten a Sam Noakes type of fight on TNT, or like Carrington, who came away with a victory, TKO victory or KO victory in his last fight against Castro. Those fights were entertaining as shit, very TV friendly, and unfortunately, those weren't the fights that we got last night. Even though the guys won and handily, right, that they won, that it wasn't, that part wasn't controversial necessarily, the fact that they won, but do you think boxing got fans last night, Andrew, with the TNT? Maybe they missed some of it because they had to go out into the fireworks or whatever. But do you think they were able to, at least to some degree, accomplish what they were trying to do by getting boxing back on TV with TNT?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's already been accomplished. TNT's not going to pull out of the contract, so they're already back on. Now, your thing about was it entertaining? I didn't see too many people talking bad about it, and I'm talking about diehards. I thought the main event was a very entertaining fight. Shushu did get booed though.
Yeah,
That fight, yeah, that
and
fight
the
did,
scoring and the scoring too.
yeah. So that fight did get a little bit of booing from the crowd. Who knows how the the audience at home took it? Thought the main event did fine. TV ratings are going to be down anyways. Trust me, bro. You wouldn't have wanted the fight that everyone had to see. You wouldn't have wanted it last night. There
Mm.
might not have been that many people home. I'm telling you, I was very upset at the time frame of this fight. How do they expect regular, no casual that has kids and a wife that's saying it's time to light the fireworks is going, no, I got to sit home because TNT is starting boxing today,
Mm.
right? I seen this commercial. This is really good guy. No, so no casuals. It was hard for them to pull a casual. Now, granted, I know the week before I said I could sell it, and that's like, yes, if I was at a barbecue and we were just hanging out and there's a TV in the backyard, I can definitely tell everyone, hey, there's some fights on. Can I turn them on and sell the fight? But to think that people are just going to sit in their house and watch this thing, no. So the ratings are going to be low, and I don't think you wanted the fight of the night to happen last night. Matter of fact, if the ratings are too low, I don't even see Top Rank doing this again. It might not be. You think it sounds good because it's a day off. It's a time where people are getting together and celebrating. There's a lot of people doing picnics. They're in parking lots in some structure that they're what do you say, land that they're going to light their fireworks on. They're not even at home. You know what I'm saying? So it probably was not the best day to put on a fight, especially opening up your new business or whatever you want to say with TNT. So I think they got away with it. Both guys won. The main event was entertaining. Shushu, he got booed, so I can't really give him an A for his fight. But overall, I thought it was a decent card for us diehards, especially for the fans of Abdullah Mason. I really thought he showed out, bro. I can't believe you're giving him such a hard time, bro, because he
Well,
really he
after
walked
putting
the
on
bigger.
such a fight, after putting on the kind of fight he put on against somebody like Sam Noakes, and the circumstances were different, of course, right? I mean, it wasn't like. Actually, hold on, was
But
that Sam Noakes fight also last minute too? I'm trying to think if it was also a replacement as well. I'm trying to remember out of hand.
he was definitely up against it, fighting a bigger man who knew how to throw a crisp right hand, and he got through it. He was able to figure it out and get through it. Good fight. It was a good fight all the way around. Um, Not really into the commercials.
Oh yeah, and you get the commercials even if you're paying for DAZN. Because I watched it on the DAZN, not on the TNT. I watched it on DAZN, and I still had a fuck ton of commercials. And it did tell me, like even in the replay, it'll tell you, like with TV ads or some specific wording. I forgot what wording they used, but anyway, point is, yes, they got the commercials even with DAZN.
Yeah, that's crap.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there, but DAZN needs to figure that out. What are they just piggybacking off of TNT's feed? I'm guessing.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like, we're not even going to send anyone. Just give us your. We have current. We don't care. We don't care.
Right. And it looks like so it's the zone their deal with TNT because it won't always be Top Rank that's going to be it's kind of like serving sort of like HBO, right? I mean it's not always going to be Oscar, it's not always going to be Bob, it's going to be whomever else. Probably I would want to say maybe even Matchroom might kind of get dibs, because they're kind of DAZN's baby, sort of. So I maybe they might get more dates than other promoters. They were advertising what's his name, Lamont Roach and Cepeda. I thought that was going to be on like Amazon pay-per-view, but for some reason they were advertising it. So I don't know if that was just an ad just because, or because it was going to be part of like some sort of DAZN shit. Because Cepeda is with Oscar, who is with DAZN. I don't know if Roach is PBC specifically or not, but I thought it was. So maybe I'm getting it confused, but I guess it's not going to be there. It's going to be, I thought it was PBC pay-per-view. Maybe I could be confused.
I definitely seen that though too. That it was going to be on. It had some kind of TNT logo on the fight. All I can say with that is that's a good thing for us. Those are the type of fights we need on TNT if we want fans to tune into this, like diehards, like guys that used to watch boxing might come back if they see these type of fights getting put on TNT. Another thing is we don't want too many matchroom fights on this. Eddie sucks. Eddie sucks at matchmaking, and I know he's gonna go on Anthony Joshua. That's great. You have Anthony Joshua, you have Chris Eubank, and who's the other cat?
Other English cat. Well, he's got Ennis. He's got Ennis.
No. Connor Ben and Chris. No, I'm talking about the fights that did great. The fights that did big. Those are all over there. Connor Ben versus Chris Eubank didn't do a fucking thing over here in America. No one cared. All right. So you have that big fight over there. But if you played that in America on TNT, I'm not sure that many people would watch. Even the rematch. Even with it being the fight of the year candidate, I don't know if that many Americans would have tuned in to the rematch on TNT. So, and then all of his other fight cards suck on DAZN. I mean, it's a bunch of freaking guys from overseas that make no names for themselves. They never make it over here to Las Vegas. What are we doing? We're wasting our Saturdays, unfortunately, unless you don't have anything to do and you're going to watch two white dudes throw down from the UK or from, that side of the pond, and you have no idea who they are, their background is or nothing. No, the casuals aren't going to watch that. They will not tune into half of Matchroom's cards. Hey, people, DAZN's audience don't tune into half of Matchroom's cards. How about that? Right.
Yeah, and I was just talking because I'm hearing a lot of rumors now that in the near future PBC is going to make the jump and they're going to go to DAZN, and to some degree it's cool that they're all under the same umbrella, but at the same time, if they're under an umbrella that nobody fucking uses, then who gives a shit? They're on one channel that nobody watches. It kind of defeats the purpose. The point is they make the best fighting the best because they're all under the same streaming service. But if not many people have the streaming service, what the fuck? Who's going to tune in?
I guaranteed. We know TNT does sports. We've seen that last show: baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer. They do it all. So they're definitely getting into sports. Now we need to give them the right fights for these sports fans to watch, and that's definitely not with starting off with Matchroom guys that know. I don't even know sometimes on DAZN. I'm like, well, the main event. I'm like, why do I want to watch the main event? I don't even know these guys that are fighting. They give no like, this is the Olympian, this is the former gold medal winner of Italy or some shit. You know what I mean? He's undefeated. He's making his debut over here in DAZN. Nothing. They give us nothing like that on their fighters. They just give us cards of a bunch of names and faces we don't know. Just keep that away from TNT. TNT should be for only Matchroom guys that make it big in America already, and then PBC, Top Rank, and Golden Boy. If Golden Boy is on TNT too. Did he
Yeah.
sign with that? All right.
Well, it's the zone. So I guess the
So
zone
whoever's
is the one that says, "Hey, I'm gonna put," because they're gonna put in a few weeks. I think Diego Pacheco, and I want to say he's a matchroom guy, so he's gonna be on
yeah.
there. And then the week that follows, or whatever, later in July or the 1st of August, I mean, William Cepeda and Roach. So that's like a Oscar, with Cepeda. So yeah, I guess they're just gonna take turns.
Yeah, that's decent. And then Diego Pacheco on TNT is decent. So at least Matchroom got some people they can put on TNT. I'm just saying those obscure freaking Matchroom cards that he puts on DAZN, I don't think they have any business being on TNT. It's no ratings for us at all. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, as a diehard, I'm not watching half of these shows that Matchroom puts out. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah, I didn't realize how late it gotten with last night's fights until after we had stepped outside. I was like, oh shit, yeah, it's a lot later than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, bro. Dude, I'm telling you, yeah, it wasn't. I was kind of ticked off about that. I thought they'd be a little bit smarter with that. No wonder why everything else was over Bob. I'm over here like, oh yeah, they're like, these guys are dumb. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? One thing I kind of forgot to mention about Mason and Bell was Bell's beard. Holy hell, that shit was like literally a week removed from having Ennis shave his. Like no one seemed to give two fucks about Albert Bell's beard, and it was. I mean, not that it helped change matters or anything like that. And mind you, this was a different state, so a completely different athletic commission. But it just seemed kind of crazy. Like I mean, maybe I would have thought maybe Mason's corner, taking in consideration that it's a short notice opponent, right? 10 days, I think they said, that they would have been able to like, no, you shave that motherfucker or trim it down. They didn't give two flying fucks about his beard.
Yeah, and it's getting a little out of hand, dude. Seriously,
Yeah.
like what happened to this rule? Like, all right, so maybe the fighter doesn't want to look soft by saying, "Hey, can you trim his beard?" Where's the fucking commission at? Where are the trainers at? I thought you're supposed to jump on that grenade for your fighter. Aren't you looking out for the best? You know, dude, if it's a religion thing, I just think they need to go a little bit deeper than someone just being like, "Oh, it's my religion."
Yeah.
I don't know how you beat that, Miguel, but it's illegal as shit. Because look, I want to say it was Bradley. Sorry if I'm giving the wrong ex-fighter, the credit for the explanation on why you don't want that. It might have even been Mora, damn it, but whatever. About the missing target. You don't know where the target's at when you have this thing that's, inches away from their actual chin. Now you're cutting it short every time and you're missing his actual chin. That's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. No one should have that kind of advantage. And last night was even worse than what Ennis did. Ennis, I think you clearly see he does it for padding. And this is like thick and solid, right? Like he's been grooming that thing. He's like, there's passion. There's a reason behind that beard. Last night was just, dude, do you trim that thing at all? Do you do anything to it? It was like he just grew it and was like, "Hey, look, it grows, Mom." I'm not gonna touch it. I'm just gonna let it grow.
Oh, that's nice, sweetie. That's nice. It's like, yeah, it's all because even at the edge, it's all like super. It's not even curved or anything. It's just kind of like,
doing
trimmed.
its own thing, bro.
Yeah. It's just like he's just letting it get out of control. Which, I guess.
But definitely, the beard thing is getting out of control. We need trainers that speak up a little bit more. We need managers that speak up a little more. We need a bottom. I think as fans, we should get a end to that story too. I want to know: is it his religion? Is that what he's going with, or is it just that you guys don't care? You're not looking out for the best interest of your fighter. That's what it comes down to. I don't want no padding. I don't want no missed shots because he doesn't know where the fuck your chin's at. You know what I mean? I don't want that hair getting into my fighter's eyes. Not saying it's happened already, but I don't want to be the first guy that does it, right? So trim it. Trim it to whatever limit the commission says it's supposed to be at.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point because as you guys know, I trained in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and when I'm on top, even though my hair is not long, I'm rubbing my fucking hair in their face. Yeah. Considering how tall Albert Bell was, like that's like right where Abdullah's eyes are. You know what I'm saying? Just grab the motherfucker and rub your shit. Like, what the fuck? You know, I'm sure that was like getting in the dude's eye, and he's like, yo, what the fuck? Because I'm sure that in and of itself is bothersome when you rub, your face with them. But let alone, I mean, I can imagine it's even more bothersome in your eye when it's like right here. So, yeah, I didn't even think about that, and especially with his height, that's like perfect level with like Abdullah's face.
I used to wrestle with one of the most hairiest men on the planet, my older brother, dude. So I know all about hair everywhere. Fucking guy.
Like, let me just like headlock you with your face in his fucking pecs with all his hairy ass chest. So this next topic is a little bit of a controversial one because it didn't really. Oh, at least I don't think it played a role in last night's co-main event, but the open scoring. Man, it seemed as though everybody from ESPN / Top Rank with, I mean, Porter, I guess, is the exception, but Bradley and Crawford, they were all down for it. They were all cool for it, right? They even used some examples, and it seemed as though Chris Mannix was kind of on the fence, although looking at it from a fan's perspective, he wanted to kind of throw out his 2 cents as to why it might not be great from a fan's point of view. And then Mora himself, from a fighter's point of view, saying like, if the guy knows he's winning, he might be, backpedaling kind of that. Crawford said, well, if he's going to backpedal, he'll lose like Oscar against Tito. A lot of back and forth. But when you mentioned earlier that Shushu was getting booed a couple of times, it was because they read the fucking scorecard. They read it out loud. Jimmy Lennon Jr. blasted it through the fucking speakers. I don't know if that's the right way to do it. They even did it when the fight was going on. Like, it wasn't even in between the rounds, right? It was like the action had already started for the following round, and then they announced it, which is kind of weird. I wonder if the fighters were like pausing for a second as they're listening, or what the fuck. Is kind of distracting. But Andrew, what is your opinion on open scoring in general? There's a lot of pros and cons to them, but do you think this is beneficial?
You know what? They had some good arguments last night about, this isn't in other sports. You do see the score, so it does dictate the game plan of those sports. Why can't that be the same for boxing? And it makes a lot of sense. I believe it would give at least try to light a fire under the fighter's ass that's losing the fight going in the championship rounds. Also, the fans start booing, adds a little bit of drama to the last few rounds, right? If they think their guy is now losing, they're freaking more into the fight, right? So I kind of like the pointers, and I might have had a different opinion years ago when it first came out, but I kind of liked how they argued it, and it was all fighters basically that were kind of saying, no, we don't mind it. We've seen in the NFL coaches just start running the ball at the end of the game, and all the fans know why. We're like, oh man, we know what he's doing. He's running out the clock. They're running out the fucking clock. But that changes the whole defense. Now the defense doesn't have to play the throw as much, so they're stacking the line, and then they get more opportunities with the ball because all they have to do is stop the running back. So you would think the same would work in boxing. If one guy is running, like he said, or if he runs, he loses the rounds like Oscar did in Tito. So it's not a guarantee he wins because he found out he was ahead in round 10 and ran the last 3 rounds. Now all of a sudden, if he's not doing the math right, he could do the math right there on the seat.
Yeah.
I guess that sucks.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I mean, the corner can do the fucking math. Be like, yo, hey, you got it.
They should have said that one but the coaches aren't knowing the score after every inning or after every period, dumbass. And then this one in the round, the coaches know, all right, we just got a point, so we just need to stall the next few rounds. So yeah, it's not a perfect world. Are they going to go for this for every fight? Is this something Suleiman's just doing every time he feels like it? Because I believe I watched a lot of WBC matches, and they don't do this all the time, Miguel. So what's up with that? You know what I mean? So we need to get to the bottom of why and when are they doing the open scoring thing? Because if it's for a major fight, yeah, there's a big issue when you. You only get extra points by knockdowns and penalties, right? In a straight up round we know one guy's getting a point and the other guy isn't. So I guess you could do the math in the final 3 rounds, you know, unless you're Floyd. Floyd seems to have a problem with math. But
Right.
but
He has a problem with like addition, subtraction, out the fucking door, no problem. But the addition part, he seems to have a problem with that. He needs a lesson with that.
So yeah, it might. I don't know if it hurts the fight. I really don't. If a guy wants to try to stall, that should light a fire under the other fighter's ass to go get him, right?
Mm.
And then what if his like mentality drops? Like he thought he was winning, so now he's not as hungry, right? So his whole momentum goes away. Yeah, there's a lot that can happen there. Adds a little bit of drama. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I would have to know when and why Suleiman's choosing on certain fights to do this and some he's not. Is this something the fighters have to agree to? You know, or
probably. I have to assume that they're. I mean, it's like either you fight for the belt and you go by this fucking rules, or you don't.
Yeah, and then if they're unifying and all that, that probably how do you say it? Like just nullifies or just takes it away right there. It's just saying, no, we're not doing that. The IBF is involved, the WBO is involved, and they're not doing open scoring. So yeah, that's there's a lot going on there. It was a shoe fight. I didn't mind it. And I think it was because of the first argument too that whatchamacallit put out there about other sports. And I was like, you know what? That's decent, but I just countered my own argument in the fucking on the show right now where I'm a little
well, it's true.
I'm a little indecisive again.
Yeah. It's like I kind of had him and then I just kind of like went back and forth. Now I just went against my own argument and now I'm in the middle again. I might have to plant my flag and say no. At least not how they're doing it now. If they're going to enforce it, if they're going to do it, I would want to see 2 major changes. Not after every fucking 3 rounds. No, every round. Do it after every fucking round. So at the very least, oh shit, he just got it. I'm behind 1 round. I can do something right now. Not, oh shit, I'm behind 3 rounds or whatever the fuck. Then it's like a much higher, steeper mountain to climb. Every round. And if the judges were a little more liberal with 10-8s, like if they do it at the 9th round and they know the guy, he can lose the next 3 rounds and still win, the judge be like, you best not run, fool. I'm going to give you a 10-8 round. You fucking run. I'm giving that other motherfucker a 10-8. Like more liberal with that. At the very least, it makes the scorecards a little tighter because it does deter the fighter from running because yes, it does light a fire under the fighter who's losing, but then we get a William Skull and Canelo type fight. Like it's hard to catch a dude when he doesn't want to engage and he just wants to run, and you have to just cut off the ring and shit. It's like when the guy's not there to fight, it's a boring, very fight. All the chasing. Gonna continue. Much rather it be every round. So at the very time and rounds where actually be to anything about it, and have a little bit more 10-8s down.
Yeah, that sounds. I mean, I don't know about the liberal on a 10-8 thing, but I do. Look, you lose the round. You won't get as many points for your defense of just running around trying to not get hit. Remember how they used to say that for Floyd on HBO or even, I think it was De La Hoya one time when he was doing his running. They were like, who was the one? Tony Pep. Tony Pep won a round one time without throwing a punch. There will be none of that if we have open scoring and we can clearly see one guy's running. I think he just loses the round by a point, and unfortunately for the challenger, he's going to have to make up that other point some other way. You know what I mean? He can't just be given to him. He's got to go, and I think that makes for a better fight, sort of. I haven't seen it not, I had to have to see more of this to get a true gauge on if this is a good thing or not, but I mean, it might make some of the fights more exciting at the end. I'll give it to you every 3 times, maybe do it every round, but maybe cut it off in the 8th or 9th, not give them the math at the end. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. So stop doing it like in the last 3 rounds or something like that.
Or 4, I would say 4 maybe. So they
Oh,
can't do
okay.
the math. So they can't do the math. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They're more like, all right, in the 8th I was up, but fuck, we're in round 10 now. You know what I mean? Like, who knows where the last 2 points? Because maybe you're only up by a
Mm,
point or two. You know what
right.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you think you won the rounds, but you really don't know if you won the round. So now it could be a draw, or you could be
Yeah.
down, or something like that. So maybe do something like that. Then and yeah, it would probably work. I think it would work. They had a good argument. Damn it! All other sports show the fucking scores.
Well, I know, but that's the thing. We're not all. I mean, I say we, like, I'm part of it, but like the sport of boxing isn't like it. There aren't many games or sports where you could be behind on the scorecards and still win in the last round by knocking the dude out. Like, it's not like the NBA has one of those like super tall baskets that in the last second you can throw it and you just automatically win. It's like how it works, right? You can't do that shit. So
Right.
it's not like other sports, and that's the reason it is, boxing, and it's fighting, it's professional prize fighting. It's a completely different thing, and no other sport does 10 points per fucking score. Yeah, football does the 7, but it isn't like that. And to make it like that would be not making boxing its own thing, which it already is.
And some of it's opinionated too, the scoring.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
very
just
subjective, very subjective.
yeah.
There are some judges that really love aggression and they'll give it to you even the guy isn't very effective with it. And there's guys that judges that really love defense. So if they see a great defensive fighter, they'll give him the fucking round.
There's definitely some that love promoters.
Yeah, there's definitely some that are related to promoter. No. Yeah, then there's those guys, exactly. So it just I like that's a good idea though, to like do it. They'll just do it every fucking round up until the 8th, and then it's like, oh, now if you see the scores are close, now at that point it's like, who the fuck knows? We only get for somebody to sweep the final 4, it would have to be pretty obvious, and then at that point we would know who won anyway. But that's not a bad idea, even doing it that way, because I hate that the fighters know, and the maybe the De La Hoya and Tito fight would have been different if he would have known that he was ahead and he did give up the other ones, right, the last few rounds. But it just seems like to deter somebody from doing that is to be throwing the 10-8s. Like, don't you dare that shit, man. Don't be doing that shit, because it would be the equivalent of a knockdown, right? Because it's obvious that he's riding the clock, which is essentially what we're trying to avoid.
Yeah.
But that was very weird. And here's the thing: I've actually seen it in MMA as well. I think this one like all women's league called Invicta. They did it for a while. And I think they did it every round. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember. But they did it some years ago. It wasn't relatively recent. It was some time ago. But anyway, like, I've seen that it happened in MMA. So it seemed like it's something that can do some work. Like, it's right now in the process of work. And I've even seen, do you remember like when they had judges with like headphones, like noise canceling headphones, so they don't get influenced by the crowd kind of thing, like, I know they're trying everything, I get it, but man, I this open scoring isn't bad if they do it differently. And the way they're doing it right now, I don't think it works.
I know. I wanted them in a room in the back, not
Right.
ringside,
Mhm.
and maybe all 3 of them together watching all different angles, coming collectively with who won, right? But it'll never happen because it takes the power out of the guy who keeps these balls rolling sometimes, So
Mhm.
and that's where I would say giving them the power of giving a eight points on because they felt like the guy was running too much or running. I believe that's too much power we're putting in the judge's hands,
Mhm.
where he could be like, man, Al's always been good to my family. I think he
Right.
ran too. I don't know. I just think he ran too much.
Yeah, exactly. But actually, my contract here says I have to thank Al Heyman at the end of the fight. Yeah, I guess that could be, but
I don't know why I picked Al to pick on, but
well, we all know why.
Put any promoter's name in there.
Yeah, exactly. No, we'll leave Al's name in there because I mean, we know damn well, people got to thank him at the end, and he's the one that's always not there. He's always missing, right? So the fuck he gets. If he would be there, maybe we wouldn't pick on him so damn much.
Do you think the 50 Cent? Did we ever bring up the 50 Cent audio dropped between Al and Leonard?
No.
Do you think that was real or was that AI?
I don't know if it was AI. It was very possible. I've heard, and not to say that his word is gospel, but I've heard Dan Rayful say that he's spoken to Al Heyman quite a few times, and that did not sound like him. So he doesn't even think that's him, but that's his
okay. Good. All right.
That's his own opinion. I don't remember. I don't think I've ever heard The only time I've ever seen Al Heyman was ringside. Well, not the only time, but in person, because I've seen pictures, images, right, on Google. But the only time I've ever seen him like on TV moving around the actual person was ringside for Kelly Pavlik and Jermaine Taylor won the first time they fought. I want to say he was ringside sitting near Lou DiBella. But besides that, I don't think I've ever heard the motherfucker talk.
All right. Well, that makes sense too. It's probably just some gambling debt Floyd owed. Leonard was trying to clear up.
Right, exactly. But I mean, it's if it's real, I don't know if it's Al, but that's some. Was it like a hit? It was some sort of like hit on him or something.
Basically, Leonard was kind of complaining about Floyd saying he owned the PBC, and he was like, he don't own shit. He owns himself. That's what I told him. I was like, don't worry about it. You know, we're gonna put his little ass in the ground or something like that. You know, and yeah, maybe that's why they gave him a credit line. They're all, he doesn't own the PBC. What?
Yeah, that sounds more plausible. And you know, we've talked about Floyd recently here and his fight not going through with this kickboxer. So happened 2 weeks ago. So we'll see what happens with Floyd.
And he sounded a little. It sounded bad. Did you see the interview this week about where he came out and said, "My family's bills are paid. I still own my homes." Did you see that?
No. I just saw a clip where he kind of avoided the whole not paying Logan Paul part. I seen that one.
Yeah, that one too. Or he says, I hope he does good. That's hella fucked up. If you owe him 1.5 million, that's kind of, that was kind of shady of him to say that to him. But no, he goes on interview talking about he still has his houses, his family's bills are still paid, his mom's bills are still paid. And it's like Floyd, that seriously, if that's your defense right now to your losing $750 million fucking dollars in the ring, because that's only in his ring, that's not all of his endorsements. 750 is what they said he made in his fighting career, prize money. That's your fucking defense. Is I still have my houses. I sure in the fuck hope you still have a house, bro. You made $750 million. What are we talking? What do you mean? I still pay my mom's electrical bill.
My cell phone bill's been paid. It's not cut off yet. That's my best.
Right? The bar is so low, bro. Right. Like, what do we do, Floyd? I was like, oh, just cut the microphone. Someone cut the fucking mic.
Like, I still paid my barber last week. You know, he's like,
look, hell of a barber. Debit card works. See that? Just don't tell me I'm broke. Like,
Hey. It's like Floyd. That says EBT there. Like, shut the fuck up. It doesn't say that.
That's addiction. When you had 750 million and you are bragging about having a house still and paying for family's bills, you might be addicted to something, man. Gambling, spending, I don't know what it is.
It has to be spending. I mean, on stuff like watches and cars, like it's the spending part. And I guess,
and I definitely think gambling though too, man. Remember, this is a young man. They said dropped. Was it 20 million? We already went through the story, but the 20 million, that's 2 more million than he paid for the watch.
Yeah.
All right. Million in 2 purchases.
Which a bet that he lost.
At least
he got a watch. At least the 18 million bucks got him a watch.
He didn't get shit. Huh? He lost it at halftime. It feels like 42-0 at halftime, bro. It was already over, right? Fuck. Casinos are like, go ahead and put his money in the bank. Give it to the armor guy.
Yeah, just count it. Count out the cash drawer. It's as good as gold. Just put that bitch away. Oh boy. But yes. Open scoring. I'm hoping they can make some changes to it and not leave it as is. Next time I run into Mauricio Suleiman, I'm gonna throw in my suggestions. Like, all right, how about we do this? All right, 8 rounds. Beyond that, at least try to see some influence. Like, this is not good overall. I don't think, at least.
And always have it 1 point. You're only up by 1.
Right. Always.
Down 3 times. That doesn't matter. Better have a good final 4 rounds, dude.
Yeah. It's like, you actually were going to lose that round, but, you barely got it. So I'm going to call it a 9-8 because I'm going to give the other guy a round, right? So 1 point there. All right. On to the next topic. This one's a funny one because boy, you had to send me a fucking voice message for this one. Um, Alexander Usyk recently gave up all of his belts. Right, he relinquished all of his championships and has said that he wants to fight a couple of guys. The names he name dropped. Former UFC light heavyweight and heavyweight champion John Jones. I kind of when I heard that I was like, "Yo, maybe we talked about on last show. Maybe it is going to be an MMA fight. Maybe is going to be a boxing. Considering Usyk just fought a kickboxer, maybe he wants to go to a different combat sport and box another guy from a different sport. So maybe that was the train of thought, at least for the John Jones thing, and has gone as far as to say that he wants to fight one Deontay Wilder. And as time goes on, it seems as though the Deontay Wilder opponent, or him being the opponent, is much more realistic, and chances are that's the fight that we're actually going to get. However, there has been some word, some news that you can find online regarding who will be putting this fight together, or at least that's what they're reporting. Let me go ahead and read this caption here from Box Live app. That's the specific Instagram account. Alexander Usyk is reportedly in talks with Dana White's Zuffa Boxing for what could be his farewell fight against Deontay Wilder. The unbeaten Usyk, 39 years old, recently vacated his heavyweight titles, making it clear he's not retiring but looking for one more final major event. Discussions are active for a potential Usyk versus Wilder clash in the United States. Now, him fighting in the United States isn't exactly the real killer here, or the real twist, nor is it fighting Deontay Wilder. But Dana White's Zuffa putting this fight together seems highly unlikely. I mean, it just after we just saw this peace summit with him not being there. Granted, Tony Khan was there representing TKO, which to some degree represents the UFC. But even then, if you watch or you pay attention to Turkey's social media posts, Turkey Al-Sheikh, he had a separate picture with just Tony Khan. It seemed as though that was not really a peace summit. We're starting to piece together the pieces of the puzzle, and it was more so trying to figure out how they can make AJ and Tyson Fury. But Dana wasn't there, and not representing Dana's Zuffa, I guess, in that sense. But somehow here she is putting on this Usyk and Wilder fight. Andrew, you sent me a very telling voice message through Instagram. Please let us know your thoughts on this, because that should have me rolling.
Well, look, Miguel, sometimes I'm at work and I'm having a real hard day. I'm trying to figure out something. I got a building down, and I get this fucking text message. It says Dana White is now promoting Usyk versus Wilder. And I'm like, I was just a little fed up with the whole thing. Fed up with to me, Miguel, any boxing site, combat site, anyone who's still trying to pretend, I'm going to say that again, pretend that Dana White is any type of boss in boxing, you're either a UFC fanboy or you're
a Dana fanboy.
You're not going full retard, but you're kind of in the ballpark.
Yeah, you're on the way there.
You're on the way there, bro. Like, the cat's out of the bag on this, right? Mm-hmm. Zuffa is owned 60% by Turkey. 60. It means more than half of the company belongs to him. Mm-hmm. TKO owns the other half, and Dana somewhere in the fucking middle of all that. Is Dana a CEO of TKO? Do we know that?
Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. He's associated with them because they're the parent company of the UFC. But beyond that, no.
All right. So it's just absurd, and to see this thing keep this fake news, like, we're very much a part of this whole new fake news stuff that is very well accepted, it seems, nowadays, right? No one really gives a damn who's out there posting fake stuff or real stuff anymore. Just if it fits your agenda, you'll run with it. And if it doesn't, You'll say it's fake news, it's AI, and you'll move on with your day and you'll feel great. Turkey came out and said not only does he own 60%. Now remember, he made these statements after Dana didn't show up to his meeting. He also, Miguel, edited the picture to take Zuffa out of the damn thing. To me, that's not a good sign. And the last thing he put on there was that he was I want to say the chairman of the board. And I didn't graduate college, Timothy.
Yeah, Tim Bradley.
Tim Bradley, but that probably means something in the business world. Chairman of the board sounds pretty big title. So my point is, dude, in this fucking absurd thing that he would be fighting for a Zuffa fucking title is absurd. Like if he is, oh look, I froze. Hey, are you still there? All right, there I am. Wow, that was weird. That was the first time my face was stuck.
Turkey's got some powers we might not be aware of right now. Just tread lightly, Andrew, is what I'm saying. Tread lightly.
I've been saying Dana's name too many times. Damn it.
We're getting too close. They're trying to take us down.
That's a good one. No, but yeah, he came out and said he's the chairman of the board. He came out and said he owns 60%. We know Usyk is not giving up his titles to fight for the Zuffa championship. And if he was, this is like the most bullshit fight ever put together, because that means now they just took Dana's whole pay structure and said, all right, we're not even going with this anymore. Now you're taking on Usyk. Don't worry, I'll pay the 25 million. The 25 million, the 20 million, like, come on, what was he supposed to make? 750,000 or some shit? What was it? Is that what it was for the champ?
As a champ. And what for? To just retire? Because he's gonna fucking fight one more time. Really? You're gonna put the belt on him just so he can put it out? Like, what legitimacy does that really give?
None. And it doesn't even legitimize the title. I think if he was just to go win it off of Deontay Wilder, I mean, yeah, you could say he was the lineal heavyweight champ or whatever, but it was Deontay. He won the title for Zuffa.
So that's the connection? Like, I win this Zuffa belt and I'm the lineal champ, and then I vacate it, so the next person is the lineal champ? Oh, I fucking hope not. That's some bullshit.
They bought it. They're buying it.
Oh, yeah.
And unfortunately, remember I was talking about all these old guys we keep giving titles to, and they keep doing this kind of things to us. I mean, you could see Fury's doing the same shit. You know, you could see Terence Crawford's doing the same shit. Terence hasn't pulled the trigger yet, but he's floating around Turkey because he's waiting for the right offer. Believe that. We'll talk about Terence too coming up here, but he's waiting. They're all waiting to sell out. Oh, I'm sure Terence would go over to Zuffa if Turkey gave him the right number, and he'd put that fake title around him and then retire again and do exactly what you just said, right? So that's one of the problems we have by having all these guys that were ready. Oh shit, Canelo's sitting in that boat too. I hope he doesn't do it, but he's sitting there.
I think something just came to me. Dana's not wanting undefeated fighters. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Everybody's got to lose. Do you think, I mean, and this is just me trying to think ahead and people manipulating shit. We get Wilder and Usyk on a Zuffa card, and fucking Wilder wins some stupid ass scorecard. In his position, he kind of can't say no to maybe the pennies that Zuffa's going to offer him, because nobody else is going to offer to him. And just like that, they have their lineage go to Zuffa. Like, I'm stretching here, but like I can't. I want to put it past them, is what I'm saying.
I wouldn't either. And honestly, they're paying enough money to these guys. They're overpaying these guys enough to kind of do whatever they want, right? I don't think Usyk would really care that he lost his last fight by a controversial decision. You guys, I'm not saying he knows that going into the fight either. I'm just saying if it was to happen, he'd probably laugh and go, "I'm done anyways. You know, it was great, blah blah blah," and walk away. So yeah, something might be going on like that. But honestly, I do not think it's Dana White that's talking to Usyk. I just don't think TKO wanted any part of this. These guys did not get into boxing to start giving out $20-something million paydays every other weekend. And now you kind of do have the UFC pressing them. It seems like they all got raises. You know, they're talking about bigger money on that side now. So they already got kind of pushed into doing that. They really want to double down on boxing and start doing that over here too. At least the MMA, they already know what they can get back. I'm sure the raises they gave them still weren't anywhere near what they're getting back. So they're like, yeah, well, sure. Oh, yeah, we're giving you a raise.
It's the same percentage. It's the same percentage. So granted, it might be more money, but they still get the 80 or whatever, and they get the fucking 20. You know, the fighters get the 20.
Yeah, so I don't think TKO is in boxing for this. That might be why they didn't show up to the meeting at all. And I still gotta say, we can say that Khan was there representing TKO. TKO was not there representing boxing because they were not in the photo. And I don't like the comment that Dana said that the day before not showing up when he said, I'm worried about Major League Baseball and football. You guys, I keep trying to tell you, that's him telling the UFC, I'm worried about you guys and my future. I'm not worried about boxing. Who the fuck is boxing? Boxing is his side gig that when Turkey goes, hey, can you announce this? Or, hey, can you do this? Then he goes, yeah, sure, I'll do it. Hey, you got Zuffa here. Zuffa's going to do it. That's all that is, bro. He's worried about big ratings. Zuffa's not bringing big ratings. The UFC is bringing big ratings. I know. I don't believe them. You know, I don't believe those ratings. But they're the one that to me, I don't know.
It's still more ratings than Zuffa boxing. Period. It's still more ratings.
Yes. Cryptic, is that what you say? It was like a cryptic message. Dana was sending there. Like maybe he's not so worried about Zuffa anymore. We'll see. The next few weeks. God, I feel like I've been saying that for 7 months.
That's because we have.
Exactly, Miguel. But here we go with telling the fans again, and we'll see you in the next few weeks.
Yeah, we'll see. 2027. Who knows how 2027 is going to work out? Because we already hear Dana saying that bullshit. They're like, oh, first quarter 2027, we're going to see those numbers really go through the roof.
The Conor Ben Ryan situation sort of got cleared up a little. Are we talking about what Oscar said?
Oh, no. But we can throw it in there. I mean, it's part of this topic.
It's a part of this one. Yeah. So you seen Oscar came out and kind of disclosed why Ryan is running around saying this fight is already signed is because Oscar sort of don't have the last say on this. Oscar himself goes, the Saudis bought his next 2 fights. Did you hear him say that?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Oscar, why didn't you tell me this 3 months ago, you asshole?
Right.
Do you even have any power in his next 2 fights if you literally sold them to Turkey? So maybe that fight is signed and Oscar don't know it and he's trying to cock block by saying, oh, no, it's because of his TV rights. I don't know, but you know what Turkey's going to do? He's going to call up the DAZN and go, how much money do I have to give you? And they're going to be like, oh, cool. Hey, hang up on Oscar. Hang up. We got the line to the main guy. Got the line to the main guy. All right, we want 20 million done. Yes, got 20 million. Yes.
He's like, I got Oscar on your line. No, hang up. We got Turkey here.
You got right. Yeah. That's all they have to do is buy the rights from DAZN. Buy whatever rights they have to buy to get Ryan out of one fight. They're going to use him for one fight. How much you guys want to charge us for that? All right, we usually make this much with Ryan's fights. Boom, they'll just write a check and he's now fighting on Conor Ben on Zuffa.
But you think that, that makes sense, but he still had some power because he sent that cease and desist letter. So legally, there's some power that Oscar still has that they can't even announce that shit.
It might be for the TV rights a part of the contract, though. Because if you signed your fighter away for 2 fights, I don't know what power you have. He already bought 2 fights from you.
Yeah.
You know, so I think Oscar's trying to do a little how do you say it? Little fucking fast hand switch right there.
Sleight of hand or some shit.
Sleight of hand, yeah, like boom. No, yeah. I told you have 2 fights, but it has to be on DAZN where Turkey's like, no, fuck that. I was never in the deal. So that's probably all this is coming down to. That's why both of those dudes have had a lot of confidence running around. I'm talking Conor Ben and Ryan. Been running around saying the fight's on. Because in reality, the fight probably is on because Oscar sold 2 fights at one time.
Yeah. Mm.
Fuck.
Yeah. But so yeah, it doesn't seem likely that it's Dana though that's running this shit, at least for specifically for Usyk and Wilder. If it goes down, because I mean, I can't even imagine if Dana is involved with Alexander Usyk to any degree, it's going to be Wilder, because there's no way it's going to be John Jones. John Jones already has beef with Dana from the UFC days, right? So it's not like he's going to be like, all right, cool, time to work with Dana again. Dana, now you want to give me 50 million? Okay, yeah, I'll do this. No, he's not going to fucking do that shit. So chances are he'll go for the cheaper fighter, still overpaying, but he'll go for the cheaper, the one who's asking for the cheaper price than Wilder.
Absolutely. He can't go. The John Jones fight is off the table if it's with
Yeah.
Zuffa and UFC. That was only going to work. I thought maybe if he went to MVP and John
Yeah.
Jones was out of his contract somehow. But with Dana throwing Jones under the bus the other day with that whole he needs 2 hips and he doesn't walk and all, how could you backtrack all that and be like, this is the greatest fight that everyone's ever waited for? Come on, you know what I mean? Like that would be bad on strike promoters. That'd be bad on Dana White's part. Like, damn, bro, seriously, you'll fucking sell anything.
Yeah.
You just said the guy was fucking finished. You know what I mean?
He burned the shit out of that bridge. Like that shit
Yeah.
was, there's no rebuilding that one and be like, oh, he kind of both replaced, so they're perfect now. So and he is gonna be one of the greatest combat sports athletes. Like, nah, at that point, he's like, no. At that point, it's like, yeah, he had a surgery, he had to scrape off the arthritis from his fucking hips. He's fucked. But again, we will see what happens because it's always new shit coming up. Huh?
Said he couldn't run. Remember in the flag?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys see that flag football game? Yeah, he's not bringing that fight back. No way.
Unfortunately, not. But to stick on the topic of MMA, the UFC, Terence Crawford has finally sort of kind of responded to Conor McGregor. So we talked about this on a few shows ago, where there was this, I believe it was Conor McGregor was on Ariel Helwani's show talking about how there were a certain amount of money, $200 million offered to Terence Crawford for a 2-fight deal, one in the cage, one in the ring, and it was he said it at $200 million. It wasn't like there was no cryptic message or anything like that. He flat out fucking said it in plain old English. I mean Irish English, I guess, but in English, and saying that Terence Crawford said no to it. Well, we kind of heard from Terence Crawford since then, but kind of sort of low key. That one was definitely one of the cryptic messages or cryptic responses, even though we probably could have taken it another way. And for all we know, he wasn't even talking about Conor, but he finally has come out and said, wait, pump the fucking brakes here. Yes, we did have a conversation, but no, that money amount was not actually mentioned. I pulled this up here. This was recently on Terence Crawford says, admits he was on a phone call. All right, this is kind of weird. I mean, I guess on a phone call, I don't know if it was a 3-way, because it's like it's not saying like he was talking to Conor or was talking to Dana or talking to somebody. It's like he was part of the conversation. I guess he was just like, oh, I'm on this 3-way about facing McGregor and MMA and boxing, but an official offer never came his way. So what does that mean? Because he's according to this, at least this is what the website says. For the record, he would have accepted. I don't know if that's what Terence Crawford said. I don't remember that part. But point is, no actual offer was sent. So was it that maybe Terence was on the phone saying, "Okay, hold the front door, motherfucker. You're gonna give me how much? Send me the offer, and then we'll talk." Right? Like send that shit to me in writing, and it never came. So is that what really happened? You know, is the Conor kind of twisting the story and the narrative a little bit, making Terence look bad? But we got some sort of response. Andrew, sign off, please. I'm sure you want to. We've been waiting for this for a little bit, right? So finally, he responded saying, "Yo, we were on the phone, but no real offer was sent to me."
Yeah, Crawford responded. I think he failed on the response.
Oh, damn it, man! I thought you were gonna give him props. Shit. Okay.
No, I didn't like it at all. Look, he. I think both of them were telling the truth a little here.
Okay.
I definitely think Conor McGregor offered to fight. He probably did not offer the 200 million like he's saying. But I definitely think he's telling the truth when he said Crawford said he didn't want to get kicked, meaning Crawford was still a little bit nervous about accepting. So I'm like, all right, so Crawford's saying that he did say he didn't want to get kicked. So then, how do you say the young man's name?
Ariel Helwani.
Helwani.
Yeah, Helwani.
Helwani. Helwani then goes, all right, so if the money was there, would you have accepted? Oh, yeah. I would have accepted. Yeah, sure, no doubt. Not now. No, no. Accepted today. Did you guys hear me? Today, I'm different now. What the way? Oh, come on, Terence. Come on, Terry. So you would have accepted it back then, but not right now where we currently sit, because you know that one payday of Saul Alvarez, man. I'm set generations. You know, never have to look back. I was like, Terrence, you're scared. And you're not scared. It's not the right word. We all know it's not. That's not the right word.
He's like hesitant, a little timid, right? Not necessarily scared, but kind of like, I'm not sure about this.
Yeah, he doesn't want it. He doesn't want it. He might be too old, you guys. You know, he's not. I would have said something like, I'm fucking 40. You know, I'm getting up to 40. Was he 38? Some shit.
Yeah.
My prime is gone, you guys. I know you like to think athletes are in their prime in their 40s. We're not. We're fucking struggling. We got pains we're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot more on my plate than you people know. And leave it with that, because that's what it is. Terrence is older. He should be retiring. Boxers never stood in their 40s on pound for pound rankings, dude. So you know, go that route. Don't give me the but I'm good now.
Yeah.
I'm so rich.
I don't need to do it. I think it's specific that he said. It's like, I don't need to. You know, I can go buy a fucking Ferrari right now, but I don't need to.
He made 50 million. I'm putting hella money on him too. He only made 50 million. It was Canelo that made 100. What do you mean you don't need $200 million? Everybody needs $200 million.
Floyd needs $200 million. We all fucking need. If that motherfucker made $1 billion, he needs $250 million.
The times that are coming, your kids might need $200 million, bro. They say jobs aren't going to be, you know, they're going to not be too easy to find here in the near future. You sure you don't want to leave those kids some money? Some trust funds that have legit fucking things in them? Like, I was like, he did it again to me. He looks nervous. He looks nervous. I don't like how all the boxing world's like right away, yeah, man, I totally agree with him. Why would you want to get kicked? You know what, all you lying asses, Timothy Bradley, you know damn well if there was $100 million contract sitting in front of you when you were fucking 28, you would fight whoever was in that cage. Timothy was a dog when he was young. He would not have been like, 100 million, no, I don't want to get kicked. He does not give a shit. He would have went in there. They're just trying to back up Terence because they know Terence doesn't want the smoke. He don't want the smoke. So they're trying to all act like they wouldn't do it. Bullshit. And I'm not saying they would be confident when they did it, because maybe they're not. But 100 million
for 100 million, like I'm sure Timothy Bradley's big ass head would take an elbow any day of the fucking week. Be like, fuck yeah, 200 million right here, homie. I'll take it.
Yeah, especially back then. You know what I'm saying? When they're in their fire is burning, they're fighters. They're actually doing this shit. You know, now he's overweight, been overweight for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? He's a, I don't know if he's a grandpa yet or not, but he's at that age. You know what I'm saying? All of his friends are grandpas. Like that, he knows where he's at in life. Like, come on. So yeah, I don't like that side of it, but I did not like the response of Terence. It is almost like Terence was forced to make this response, and he made one. But yeah, I guess he's too rich for the cage nowadays.
Right. Which doesn't look good. It just I was kind of hoping you'd be like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna support him here, and everybody else seems to be supporting him. But I mean, that little out that he gave himself, like, but I mean, I don't need it, you know, like. All right, I guess we. I mean, we can still make the fight happen, motherfucker. You know, there's still the offer. I'm sure still can be on the table, like you said. Especially now after this Paramount deal, I'm sure they can still make the deal.
Oh yeah, you're stuck. We're frozen, and that's another thing too, Miguel. Until you come back, he didn't even try to overprice himself. Terrence should have said, yeah, but at $7 billion, we're not doing the price tag isn't 100 million per fight anymore. It's 250 million per fight. It's 200 million per fight. He didn't even try to overprice himself. Right now, Miguel got frozen. I don't want you guys to be waiting too long, me just staring at the damn camera. So I started talking to see if he can back out of his feed and come back in. There you go. Now you're coming back. There he is.
What you're saying, he didn't at least try to price himself.
Exactly. I forgot all about that one. You know, that was a perfect time to try to overbid yourself. You know what I mean? I want 250 million. I want 200 million. You guys are worth $7 billion. Absolutely. Come on, camera internet connection guy. Who's our IT guy? Get the IT guy on the phone. This is bullshit. Miguel looks as surprised as I do. There you are. You're coming back, sort of.
I can hear you, but for some reason the video doesn't come back. Here we go. Okay. And we're back. Kind of.
If it doesn't come back in a good connection, just probably call back in, dude. There he is. There you go.
We back? We back? Okay, cool.
Yeah, cool. Nice.
Oh boy. Okay. So yes, he didn't at least try to price himself, right? That's last guy.
Yeah. There has to be a price you'd be willing to take a kick for, right?
Right.
Damn.
And you know, it doesn't even have to be that humongous of a price, but you know, I'm sure it's out there. You know, I'm sure there's enough zeros that can be presented to you to be like, all right, cool, yeah, I'll take those. All right. Anything else you want to add to that one before we get to the second to the last topic?
No, sir.
So this one's kind of a weird one. I saw it, and I'm not sure if I sent it to you or you sent it to me, but after I knew that there was this out there, but let me go ahead and read this. This is formerly undefeated WBO heavyweight champion Fabio Wardley. His manager confirmed that the rematch clause for Daniel Dubois has been activated, but insists there's no rush to schedule the second fight, despite speculation that it could take place before the end of the year. Michael Ofo, I think that's him, stated that Wardley is recovering well from his defeat and will only return once he's fully healed. We have scheduled the rematch, so it seems as though they're going forward with this last quote saying, Fabio is eager to fight again. He is aware of his mistakes and wants to get revenge, he included. So after taking a very serious ass whooping at the hands of Daniel Dubois, Wardley has decided to exercise the rematch clause and go forward with it. But they made it pretty clear that he's not in a rush to take it. He's gonna have to be fully healed before that happens. But I'm the right way to go about it. Yes, the rematch clause is in place, but usually it's exercised when people feel it's warranted. He got fucking smoked. He was doing well. I'm not gonna say he wasn't doing well, but he took an ass whooping that one, and I can understand why them wanting to take time before the rematch actually takes place. But how about you forget about the rematch for now? Take another fight, get your confidence back, and then come back. Andrew, is this such a good idea to go into an immediate rematch? And I won't say immediate because it won't be right now necessarily, but it being the very next fight he's in.
Now, with it, one, I don't like the rematch at all. Two, with it being an immediate rematch, but he wants time to heal, does that mean Dubois is sidelined until he's healed, or can Dubois go out and get his own fight, and then when that guy is ready, Dubois needs to be ready to fight him? Because
that's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, that seems like BS, dude. If they're like, yeah, we want the fight, but you know, we need some extra time because he's pretty banged up, my guy. Like, the fuck? That's your guy's problem, not our problem.
I'm going to say, I think you're right, because why would he want to rematch him if he doesn't have the belt? Let's say Dubois fights somebody else and loses the strap. I don't think I don't think Wardley wants the rematch. Then it's like, fuck this, I want the belt back. You know what I'm saying? So he can kill two birds with one stone if he can get the rematch with Dubois for the belt. So I have to assume that does sideline Dubois too.
Wow, that's a terrible contract because he won by knockout. He's the champ. I see the immediate rematch, but I don't understand why he has to grant him now extra time to heal. Look, immediate rematch, not an immediate rematch, as long as this is what's his name? The young man that took the defeat?
Wardley. Fabio
Wardley. As long as this is Wardley's next fight, he will get knocked out again, and it will be easier next time because he's giving himself no time to heal, no time to grow. Right? He's just basically going to do a repeat of the first fight, and I think his mental breaks down faster if he sees that Dubois' punches are the same and they're having the same effect on him. As soon as the eye starts puffing, he's going to lose it mentally. Things like this. I don't like the rematch at all. That's a fast way to end your career, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if they proceed with the rematch, which sounds like they will, but how soon, I don't know. According to them, right, maybe be even before the end of the year, which gives us, 6 months, a little under 6 months. He's going to have to come with something different. Not that 1-2, not that fucking like overhand Chuck Liddell type of fucking right hand that he can telegraph a million times over and Dubois can see coming a mile away. He's going to have to add something different to that style because his athleticism, his power, his youth has been able to get him to where he's at. But when he faced somebody like Dubois, which to his credit, he did drop Dubois, so it wasn't like he didn't have him hurt. But if that's all he has and the guy doesn't stay down like Dubois didn't, he's in serious trouble. So he needs to add another wrinkle to his game because that same game plan isn't going to work. It's not like, okay, I'll just hit him harder next time. Like, no, it's not how it works, fool. You should add another fucking wrinkle to your game because you need a lot more punches to your repertoire. Anything else you want to add to that? Oh, go ahead, sir.
I was just gonna say they should at least let Dubois get a non-title fight or something. I just feel it's wrong that he did. I guess contracts are contracts, but damn, that seems kind of weird that they're putting a stall on his career so the guy that got knocked out can heal. But maybe he feels I'm gonna knock him out again anyway, so I'll take the extra break. That could be his train of thought too.
Yeah, very well. All right. One more topic here we want to get through. Anything else you want to add to that one?
No, but I do want to say where Crawford fucked up again too. I got another one for that.
All right, I'm down.
Why didn't he say the boxing match first?
Okay, all right.
And try to do what Floyd did and make his brain bleed. give him a 11-round beat down. You know what I'm saying? Just hey, I just think Crawford could have handled this so many other ways to not make McGregor look like he punked him, even though it kind of looks like McGregor punked him. Yeah, he definitely punked him with the, oh yeah, I definitely fight him, but not right now.
Right. I mean, that's not even, well, I mean, at least add that twist. Like, oh yeah, I'll definitely fight him. And I'll fight him in the cage. Not right now. We'll do the boxing first. We'll do that, and throw that in there, right? It's like, all right, cool. Yeah. That, at the very least, it's an out, but it's a more definitive one. Like, all right, we'll do the boxing first. And I mean, I don't know if Conor will fall for that shit again, but
he said he wanted both of them, right?
Yeah.
He said he wanted both, and who knows? Maybe he gets a little desperate in the negotiating table and goes, "Fuck it, you want to do boxing? We'll do boxing first, right?" And then you gotta pepper him when you get him there, though. You either got to put doubt in his head by giving him a beat down with your hands, or you try to fucking put him in the hospital that just cancels the MMA fight. Like, well, we can't do it. McGregor took too much punishment in the first one. But everything else, he had other avenues than the whole fucking I'm too rich, because we all know he's not that rich. We definitely know Terence Crawford is not that rich to be turning down $200 million. Canelo's like, what? Offer me $200 million, I'll fucking fight him.
Right.
I'm dead serious.
I signed with a fucking Saudi Arabian motherfucker. You don't think I'm gonna fund you? I'll sign with Dana. I don't give a fuck. But yes, very, very good call there. All right, this last one. Oh, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Is the game over?
Yeah, they're over. Yeah, they got eliminated.
Fuck.
England got a fucking red card. They got a fighter. I mean, a player ejected. They were one player down. They were short a player, and this was before Mexico committed that damn penalty shit, right? And then, it was bad. Yeah, but they lost. Damn it to hell. Yeah. At least we got USA tomorrow, right?
We got USA. Yeah, but now all the hosting teams are getting eliminated, dude. Canada got eliminated yesterday, Mexico today. So, yeah, at least we got our guy back. I don't know how the world feels about that, but I'm a little stoked that we got our player off of that red card.
All right. That's right. He's playing, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes tomorrow. Oh, well.
Yeah, 6 p.m. whatever the hell it is. Usually is 5. I think today's game you said was like pushed back because of the rain, right? The weather.
Yeah.
But bummer. And Mexico got, and I think they said this is like the furthest they've gone, or the furthest they reached in like 40 years, or some crazy shit like that. So it's worth celebrating. But damn it to hell, getting at least a little further. Fuck. Yeah. Okay, this one here. Man, this is a weird one. So this is some David Benavidez news, or rather, David Benavidez's baby mama, the mother of his children. She decided to go to social media a few hours ago and post that they will not be getting married. So I didn't realize that they weren't married already. I thought they already were. But it seems as though there is trouble in paradise in the Benavidez stable. From what his girlfriend, I guess, fiance, because I guess they canceled the wedding, so I guess that means he had proposed to her. So I guess for the
Vegas must be windy tonight, you guys. I don't know what's going on with Miguel's internet, but he's frozen. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, sorry about that. I got my mobile hotspot hooked up here. Was there anything that you missed before I?
You just said about his wife. Yeah, stepping away, or his girlfriend I didn't know.
Yeah, I thought they were already married, but let me go ahead and read this. And this is his what I already forgot her name here. That's how much you pay attention to here at MADBoxing. I forgot her name, but she says, with an incredibly heavy heart, I, Karina, or her name is Karina, have made the painful decision to call off my wedding. This is that with God's grace, healing, and restoration were possible. I never stopped believing in the man I knew he could be, and I spent years trying to build our relationship on faith, forgiveness, and hope. Oh fuck! Did we get this again?
No, you're there. You're there. Yeah.
All right. Then she goes on to say, I encouraged him to seek God, to be baptized, to pray, and to put Christ at the center of his life. I believe that if God could transform any heart, I believe that God can transform any heart. He could transform his. But I come to understand that no one can force another person to choose healing or accountability. That decision has to come from within. The decision to cancel our wedding
You might have to call back, dude. That's too long. We're not really getting this segment, bro. I don't know if it's still recording, but you're frozen on my side. So yeah, he's probably gonna have to call back in. Darn it, was the last segment of the show. But there we go. You're coming back. You're coming back.
Almost done, I promise. Won't be too much. Where it got, but can you hear me? Oh, by all means, let me know if I'm frozen. If I'm not,
You're frozen. You've been frozen for a while. Um, so basically, it real
you
fast.
want you want. Are we good?
I think you
If you
should
want to
probably
take
call
over.
back in.
Okay, that works. I'll be
Call
right back.
back in, yeah. So basically, what he was saying though is that David Benavidez and their girl, who we all thought was already married, at least me and Miguel thought they were already married, are not married. And she came out today on the internet saying that they're splitting up. Um, I don't know. I just find it weird that all of this is happening to him right now. But his girlfriend never seemed like the religious type, at least what she's proclaiming to be on her post tonight. Um, I mean, the clothes, I'm not judging. Not here to judge. She just didn't seem like she was so much into the Bible as she is right now. And that's not a bad thing. But sometimes changes in one person's life doesn't fit the other person's. And that's not a bad thing either. Now they do have kids involved. So you would like them to try to work this out, especially here we go. All right, you're back.
Okay, for how long I don't know, but let's go
Yeah.
ahead and get this shit crack a lagging. What did you finish off?
No, just basically the same thing you were going over. How
Oh,
they're splitting up. She, look, she's coming out real religious, and I'm kind of telling people like I don't remember her being this religious, right? And I hate acting like I know the girl personally, but I mean when you look at her from the outside, I didn't think she was what she's proclaiming to be on her post tonight. People change, and that's great. That doesn't mean David likes what she's changing to or has to like it. Now, look, when they're married, when you have kids, you would like to try to work everything out, right? For the sake of the marriage, for the sake of the children. Um, but they're not married, you know? Maybe David's taking this opportunity to go, hey, look, if this is the life that you want, cool. I'll take care of my kids, but that's it. You're kind of just all over the place. So you trying to say something, Miguel?
no, keep going, dude. If you can hear me, keep going.
Okay. So yeah, that's where I was at with it. Like I was talking about the way she dressed. She always seemed like a girl who was out there, where she seemed like she partied a lot. And David seems like he parties a lot. So it's sad that this is where it's coming to. But she could have there's things she could have done that to help out. Um be there by your man, stand by him. She's the father of three of her kids. You say they had three kids. Are you there, Miguel?
I am here. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah. They have three babies, correct? Yeah, we're gonna cut this show off short tonight, dude.
Wow. Two boys and three girls. I mean, two boys and one girl.
2 boys and 1 girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it sucks that this is happening. It's but what she put out there, I don't, fuck, man. That's something that she could have just woke up the other day and said, he last year and said, I'm changing the way I live. And David's like, what the fuck? What do you mean you're changing the way you live? Yeah, no more of anything we've been doing the last so many years. Like tripping.
Yeah, and if you take a look at her social media, she wears some pretty revealing stuff. I didn't know that was necessarily like church like for
Yeah.
the kind of things that she wears. Homegirl looks very augmented, we'll say, physically. I've seen her in person several times. I didn't think that was exactly the way to go, but if you read the rest of this, she's claiming she tried. Right. I don't know where they'll go from here, but apparently they're not married. You mentioned, I don't know if you mentioned it while I got cut off, but probably could have gotten a lot more money if they were married, right? Like just gone down with the fucking wedding anyway, and then afterwards give it a year, deal with it for another year, and you'll be fine.
Been set for life. She's already set for life, but yes, you would have gotten half. Right now, you're only getting what, child support payments now?
Yeah, yeah, for the time being. And yeah, no more. I mean, she might still get the purses. She might still get the trips, right? Because the money's going to be coming in regardless. But yeah, um, we'll see where this goes. This drama, novela, as it tends to be. We generally don't, and this happened like literally. I just saw this pop up on my feed. We generally don't really talk about fighters to that degree, but when they make it this public, it's like, oh shit, this stuff fucks with your mind, as a fighter. So for the next fight that he has, where the hell is his brain gonna be? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can do it for so long, right? It'll catch up to you. So who the hell knows how long this has been going on, and he's been just powering through it this whole time. Whether or not it is going to affect him on his next fight, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But it's definitely going to affect him to some degree.
And I don't want to put it all on the girl. Maybe David needs to sit back and think if his 3 babies are worth it. Is it the party life that you want, or do you want to be a father to a beautiful 3 children and a beautiful wife, right? A husband to a beautiful wife. Because that's a pretty cool life that he's already started, right? And you got to grow up one day. We can't be young and in the club and doing whatever he is doing that she doesn't like. Can't do that your whole life anyways, but you're going to be a father the rest of your life, right? So it might be maybe hopefully she's just giving him that line in the sand, pick us or the wedding's off, and David's going to do the right thing and pick his family over what's probably partying.
That's what it looks like, at least, right? Because as somebody his age, you would think, with that kind of the access to that kind of money, the status that he has built for himself, you have to assume that, at least from side, that is the problem, right? But we don't know the issue. According to maybe he's got like a severe like alcohol problem or something like that, right? Some sort of substance thing or something like that. It could very well be that. I don't know. But the way she made it seem, it's something that people around them have already known about, according to what this says here. So I can't even imagine what that is.
Yes, because it might be a good thing if they do change their lives. It might be good for his career. Might be make his career even last longer, right? And live a clean life.
Yeah, unless it's like let's convert to Islam. Then he's like, no, fuck that shit. No, okay.
So I want to join this cult.
Yeah, it's like this cult over here. Just drink this Kool-Aid and you'll be fine. But anyway, all wish these guys the best. Both David and his wife and the children. Hopefully, everything turns out for the best. And whatever it is, whatever demons that David Benavidez is going through right now, that he overcomes them, because he's in a position in his life right now that he can take this for fucking ever, or for a very long time at least, because of his talent and his status and his youth. And that will give him a longer life to spend with his kids, basically.
Yep.
Yes, okay. Before my damn internet cuts off one more time, Andrew, I think we're going to call it a show here, because we got through the majority, actually everything that I want to talk about. Anything else you want to add to this before we call it a show?
Nope, that's it for us this week.
Well, not this week, but this weekend, because we'll be back on Wednesday.
Sorry, bro.
there you go. Okay. I was say, what the fuck? Something got to tell me. Some demons you talking about, Andrew? It's like, no.
Oh, yeah. Chairman of the board. I got the definition for all you that are wondering what turkey is. The chairman of the board, Miguel, is the highest ranking official on a company's board of directors. It says here, chairman versus CEO. The CEO manages the company's day-to-day operation and executes the business plan. The chairman oversees the company's direction from a high level and monitors the CEO's performance. So when Turkey tells us he's the chairman of the board for Zuffa, come on, can we stop putting out on the internet that they're talking to fucking Dana?
I hope we're right there. I hope some shit happens and it's like, oh, it turns out Dana was like, fucking hell, damn it. I hope at least.
I'm just he's the one that said I'm the chairman, and I'm chairman is the guy. He's the say all be all right there, man. That's why Dana wasn't at that meeting. He might even told those guys that. Stop fucking bickering with him so much. He was supposed to just be my face. He was supposed to get us some UFC fans that were going to come over to boxing. Stop ruining my vision of having both sports coming together. It might never happen, but that might have been Turkey's vision, what he's trying to tell these guys. You know what I mean? Like, you really think he's paying Conor Ben? You fucktards. I'm paying Conor Ben. I'm paying Usyk. I'm paying Fury. They don't even own more than half of the percentage, and just set this record straight. So that's what it means.
Well, I'm sure Eddie came and he was like, well, tell him to keep my fucking name out of his mouth. Tell your fucking, it's like, okay. I'll tell him to quit, picking on you guys so you guys don't have to retaliate.
But in reality, Miguel, every time they talk bad about Dana, they're talking bad about Zuffa, and Zuffa's not owned by Dana. So in a way, Turkey should be upset that you guys keep knocking Zuffa. I'm Zuffa, motherfucker. He's not, is what he told. You know what I mean? Yeah. That might have been what he told him. Like, you guys this needs to stop. He's just a part of my company. I'm the chairman. I'm shareholder. It's me. And then said, I'm going to tell the fans that. That's when Eddie said, well, you got to tell them that.
Yeah, exactly. Make sure to let everybody know. I'm doing it right now. I am the chairman of the board.
Exactly.
You go home happy now.
That's a good one.
All right. So we are going to call it a show now that the internet's working fine. Damn it, hell. But we will be back Wednesday as our normal time, and usually evening, of course. But again, we hope everybody had a fun and safe 4th of July. We will see you guys on Wednesday. So until then, I'm sure more news will come out. But until then, for my co-host Andrew, don't get it twisted, Lapachet, I am Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, and this has been the Mad Boxing Show. Thank you so much for joining us once more. And have a great couple of days. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Take care. Peace.